What is it? Fortune favor you, my friend. Pakruti can see a lucky omen. Goodbye, my friend.
That insufferable, skoomer-swilling, beef-witted codpiece. If you're here about the property, you'll need to return later. I'm dealing with some unforeseen complications. Until recently, Bulag Idolus was my tenant. When I learned she used my property to run a skooma operation, she broke into my office and absconded with the deed. Without it, the guard does nothing. They don't believe I own the place. It's a total loss. Yes, you can. I can't have the place tarnishing my good name. If you recover the deed and key, I'll sign it over to you. Bulag Idolus had a falling out with her old partner, Zugugrath, I think. Try finding him wherever scum accumulates in town.
Freeze, Vivek!
This is the person who helped me at the tomb, my lord.
Lord Vivek, we don't need the help of this outlander.
Oh hush, Archcanon Tarvis. Outlanders have their usefulness, and this one intrigues me.
As you say. I'll be in my office if you need me.
Step forward, friend of Laboul, and let us speak. Canon Level says you helped him in his mission. As I have written, the one who helps my ally becomes my friend. Despite the Archcanon's concerns, I greet you with sincerity and pose a simple question. Will you assist us further, Outlander? I have ordinators and armigers at my disposal. Vast armies of followers and dedicated priests. What I don't have, however, is a fresh perspective. Will you set aside your personal goals for a time and become the eyes and ears of a god? Good. I need assistance to investigate a strange phenomenon that the Ancestor confirmed may indeed be a problem. We'll start with a simple divination ritual. Archcanon Tarvis can tell you what we need to delve into this mystery. The situation that troubles me has taken a toll on my Archcanon, but he's a faithful servant. Tarvis will do as I say, and I say we need your assistance. Find the Archcanon in his office, and he'll tell you how to proceed. Levoul's ancestor assured me that a source of power remains safe. As for the rest, let the guess ripen in the mind, and only speak when the fruit grows certain. I require more information on these matters, hence the need for the divination ritual. The Daedric Prince. I suppose the same events that concern me might interest Azura, though she could just as easily be the source of these troubles. Red Mountain, strange Daedra, and then there's... well, we'll talk more about that when you return.
Ah, Outlander. Lord Vivek trusts too much to put his faith in one such as you, but who am I to question my god? I suppose he sent you to me so I could put you to work. Did he say which task he wants us to accomplish first? Ah, yes. We do need to perform a ritual to reveal the nature of the phenomenon that vexes Lord Vivek. Now listen closely. I hate to repeat myself. Despite my objections, Vivek believes you were sent to help, so I'll do my best to assist you. Go to the ziggurat that's still under construction and tell the Overseer that Lord Vivek requires the Blessing Stone. Then bring it to me in the palace. You receive a simple errand in the service of Lord Vivec, and countless questions form unbidden in your mind. Very well. Go ahead. Ask your questions. It's not like I'm the busy arch-cannon of a living god or anything. Ah, the ignorance of Outlanders. How refreshing. The Blessing Stones serve as repositories for small amounts of Lord Vivec's power. They allow his favor to permeate sanctified locations. We need such a stone to power the divination ritual. If you haven't guessed yet, the phenomenon interferes with Lord Vivec's power in unusual ways. It will be safer for everyone if I perform the ritual by using the Blessing Stone instead of drawing on my Lord's personal store of energy. Even if I told you, you wouldn't comprehend it. Lord Vivec's senses eclipse those of mere mortals. Suffice it to say, he feels a disturbance in the flow of energy throughout Vardenfell. He seeks to discover the source of that disturbance. Lord Vivec sees signs and portents everywhere. It's the poet at his core. I tend to be much more pragmatic. Sometimes a volcano is simply a volcano, and not a harbinger of doom. As for the Daedra, I have no idea. Perhaps the summoning got out of hand. Offend me? You give yourself too much credit. No, I feel the same about all Outlanders. This is tribunal business, best handled by tribunal resources. However, I also obey my Lord Vivec, so I will tolerate your involvement and do my best to aid you.
This project has been nothing but one disaster after another. How am I expected to get this ziggurat built on time when things constantly go wrong? Don't mind me. I'm just having one of those days. Our Blessing Stone? Do you know what happens if we give up our Blessing Stone? Well, neither do I, but I'm sure it won't put us back on schedule or end our string of disasters. I'm not one to disagree with the Archcanon, but that's a terrible idea. Lord Vivec? Why didn't you say so? But I'll need your help before I can turn over the Blessing Stone. The passage that leads to the consecration chamber collapsed, trapping some of my workers. If you can clear the way, you can borrow the stone. I appreciate the help. Just remember that you're only borrowing the stone. It needs to be back in the consecration chamber before the next shift, or we'll never get this ziggurat constructed in time.
Thank you. I'll go tell the Overseer what you did for me.
I thought I was going to die under there. Oh.
for saving me.
Best mounts in...
Switch in 3, 2, 1.
I hope to be done here soon.
Praise Vivek!
The Outlander returns. I understand there was trouble at the construction site, but you were able to save a few of the workers. Lord Vivek always draws the straightest arrow from the quiver. Praise the tribunal. Did you bring the Blessing Stone? Stand over there. In Canon Level's absence, you will form the third corner of our ritual triangle. When you're ready, place the Blessing Stone, and we'll begin the ritual. And reveal the source of Lord Vivek's distress. A clockwork mage. A Daedric cultist. Something interfered with the ritual, my lord. But we may have learned something. Excuse me while I compare the results to our previous research.
Between the cryptic warnings of the ancestor spirit and the unexpected result of the divination ritual, I fear there may be more astir than I imagined. We solve the greatest mysteries by accident, I suspect. I should write that down. We learn from every action we take. Failure or success, each result teaches us something, at least in the larger sense. To be more specific, no, not as much as I hoped. Images that suggest avenues to investigate, riddles to solve. Let me tell you a secret, Outlander. It concerns a living god, an energy that fades like daylight as dusk spreads across the land. Listen well, and speak not a word. My divine energy, it drains away. Whether from illness or foul malady, I know not. You must travel the land and seek answers on my behalf. But first, gratitude before service, as I have written. So thank you. The ritual confirmed my worst fears. Divine energy flows out of me for no reason that I can discern. I felt the power imbued within my blessing stone get wrenched away as soon as you added it to the ritual. I couldn't stop it. To quote my own words as the warrior poet, no lock exists that the determined thief cannot open. Follow the trail of my missing energy, and try to discover the identity of the enemy Levol's ancestor warned us about. Something drains my energy. Find Archcanon Tarvas in his office, and ask if he gleaned anything useful from the ritual. If not, I know his earlier research indicated new avenues to investigate. Go where he tells you, and learn what you can. My divine energy diminishes with every passing moment, but the ritual confirmed my affliction is not natural. I regret that I could not reveal the full nature of these dire circumstances until your trustworthiness had been demonstrated. Yes, while Archcanon Tarvas has always been cautious about ideas and ideologies that didn't originate within the Tribunal, and recently, that prudence has grown 1,000-fold. He's a faithful servant, however, despite his narrow-mindedness. They always chide me about my flagrant displays of divinity, but so far, I am the only one of the living gods whose power is fading. Almalexia hoards her energy and has barricaded her temple against attack. As for Sotha Seal, my brother travels. We have not heard from him for quite some time, but I sense that he remains safe and in possession of his full power. Funny. He always wanted to discover the limits of our divinity. Perhaps I will solve that mystery for him. I've always used my power freely and without detriment. I create the blessing stones, hold the moonlit above the city, and perform 100 miracles a day to benefit my people. I begin to feel the toll this liberal application of divinity costs me. I care little for my own safety, but my people are another matter. Without my power to stop it, the moonlit will crash into the city and kill hundreds, perhaps thousands of innocents. And that would be just the start of Vardenfell's woes. At first, I barely noticed the loss of energy. But as I continue to grow weaker, the more it feels like an attack against my person. Besides, the Ancestor Spirit confirmed that an ancient enemy was to blame. We just need to determine who, before... Let us not dwell on disasters to come when we have problems enough to deal with in the here and now. Consult with Archcanon Tarvas and discover the source of this attack. Then we can put an end to it and not worry about what might have been.
I performed that ritual countless times, and it never exploded in my face before. If I discover that you sabotaged the divination... No. I shouldn't take my failure out on you. It's not your fault that things are... difficult. How do you know about... Lord Vivec told you? Of course he did. It's his prerogative, I suppose. You must swear to keep this secret, though. There would be panic in the streets if the people believed one of the tribunal was incapacitated. It's true. I'm much better at scholarly pursuits than field work. And the ritual wasn't a total failure. It confirmed 3 locations from my earlier studies. Bolmera, Aldrin, and Berelzar's tower. I need you to investigate each of these sites. I researched what I could using the resources available here in Vivec City. To learn more, I need an agent to personally assess each location. Lord Vivec thinks you're the best one for that job. I hope he's right. I believe the mage seen in the ritual is Berelzar, who works out of an ancient Velothi tower. His experiments radiate energy similar to Vivec's affliction, but they're not a perfect match. Find out what he knows about the transfer of divine energy. House Redoran controls the town and nearby mines. House Halalu also has interests in the region. Rumors of a cult in the area concern me the most. I believe we saw a cultist during the ritual. Make discreet inquiries and see what you can learn. I have no idea. That's why we're sending you. I suggest you start at the inn. Secrets get spilled along with the drinks in such places. The miners may know something as well. I've heard that House Redoran has issued some kind of proclamation. Savage Ashlanders, like the one seen in the vision, use the area as a tribal meeting ground. These nomadic heretics deny the divinity of the tribunal and have no love for Vivec. But how they could be involved eludes me. See what you can uncover. I traced tendrils of Vivec's energy to these locations, and the ritual confirmed the connection before it went awry. Just don't discuss Lord Vivec's condition with anyone. We don't want to start a panic. If anything changes here, I'll contact you.
This is bad. You look well-traveled, friend. Are you, by chance, going to Sadrith Mora? I can make it worth your while. Opportunity? Or that's what I thought, until I angered de Fair by failing to deliver the special mushrooms he ordered on time. Lost the shipment. Now I'm in a bind. I have the mushrooms, but I'm afraid Fair will evaporate me for late delivery. You aren't at fault for the late delivery, so Fair shouldn't do anything to you. Won't do anything to you, I mean. I guarantee it. Besides, I'll let you keep the payment he owes me as well. I'd rather avoid the situation altogether at this point. You're saving my life here, friend. I don't dare refuse the order, but I also don't want to meet a displeased Telvanni. For someone who's helping me out this much, you can ask as many as you like. Sadrith Mora is up on the eastern coast, so you could walk, but I wouldn't recommend it. Talk to Cinda, our local navigator. She can sail you up there on her next trip. That's how I was going to get there until I missed my delivery time. No clue. If a Telvanni mage wants them, I can only suppose they have magical properties. You won't see me putting them in any of my stews, that's for damn sure. The Telvanni aren't like you and I, friend. They're powerful and quick to anger and have no qualms about harming those who displease them.
The Red Mountain?
If the volcano...
You look like you know your...
I can't believe... You look like the traveling sort. In your excursions, have you perchance come upon a young dark elf named Vea? She went missing a couple of weeks ago and her father desperately seeks any information regarding her whereabouts. That's a shame. Her father, Eris, the house counselor here in Balmora, promises that anyone who can find his daughter and return her safely to his side will be well rewarded. You should speak to Counselor Eris. He's opened the kin house to interview potential recruits. Freelancers, as it were. If you're interested, go speak to the counselor. The longer Vea remains missing, the more distressed Counselor Eris becomes. Counselor Eris can be found at the Redarin kin house, and do hurry. He's ever so troubled by our failure to locate young Vea. If he finds that an outsider can succeed where the houseguard has failed, so be it. I have no issue with Counselor Eris seeking help. It's where he's decided to get that help that concerns me. House Redarin doesn't need outsiders to take care of its business. But who am I to question a house counselor? How can anyone not know about House Redarin? Is this some sort of outlander ruse? Well, in that case, Redarin is the grandest of the great Dunmer houses. We champion the virtues of duty and piety, and we have a proud military tradition. Our house comes first in all things. I don't understand why Eris seeks outside help. Counselor Eris Relith oversees Redarin operations in Balmora and the surrounding countryside. He's very influential, very powerful. Usually, the counselor doesn't allow his passions to get the better of him. But Vea is his daughter, after all. If I knew what happened to the counselor's daughter, I wouldn't be talking to you now, would I? As far as we can tell, she left of her own accord. There wasn't any foul play involved that we're aware of. Beyond that, you'd have to ask the counselor.
House Telvanni still keeps slaves?
How else do those lazy mages accomplish anything?
But what about the Pact?
House Telvanni stayed out of the Pact. The wizards have no interest in mainland wars.
I mean, why doesn't the Pact put a stop to it?
Would you like to tell the all-powerful mages to stop playing with their toys?
One needs to get out of here! So much those cultists, they're insane!
Alright, but keep your voice down. I'll be ready to leave soon enough. In the meantime, if anyone asks, you're just here to haul cargo.
Yeah. What? Who? This one is just here to haul cargo! Cultists? This one said nothing about cultists. Perhaps you are thinking of another Khajiit. Look, Renaku just wants to leave all these crazy dark elves behind and find a safer mine to work in. The Shulk ore mine is cursed. Really? You? Just leave Renaku out of it. If you want to know what happened so badly, just go out to the Shulk ore mine and see for yourself.
Well?
Mills, please, if you just listen.
Take care of yourself, Father.
You always were good at that.
I'm in need of a strong set of legs, Traveler. And you look like one capable of protecting yourself. Will you aid an old Mer in one last task? I have an obligation to my family. No, a duty of utmost importance. But I have grown too feeble to fulfill it. If you would take this memory stone to the few places of significance in my life, I will pay you well. It allows one to archive memories for future generations. I hope to do this for my children, who have grown estranged. Invoke my stone at the locations I've marked on your map, and the memories I wish to archive will manifest. I thank you for your aid. Fewer than ever are willing to aid their elders in these troubled times. Now I suppose the distance with my children is my fault, not theirs. Ah, yes. Mills. My son has never really forgiven me for never being here for them. He's a stranger in my own home. No. If anything, it's the other way around. Even Naria has grown accustomed to my absence. Naria less than Mills, but both my children grew up largely on their own. My duties to Master Drennan consumed a great deal of my time. Mills especially grew up with Naria and no one else. He despises me, and I don't blame him. You'll know soon enough, as will they, I hope. I failed them as a father, but they are safe, aren't they? I kept them safe. It is a rare gem. Once, long ago, Redguard warriors carried them into battle. One of the most famous was a sword singer in the First Age, Makeleleki. No historians will cherish my thoughts, certainly, but perhaps my children will come to in time. I purchased it from my master, Drennan, a Telvanni mage of middling repute. I have served him for how long? Many, many years. For as long as I can remember. I will serve him until I die, no doubt. But that will not be long now. I cannot travel with you, but I have attuned this stone to my soul. When you use it at the locations I've marked, it will summon echoes of things that once occurred there. The stone absorbs these echoes, allowing others to view them.
I love seeing new faces. For a while, it was just the same old miners and the occasional traveling merchant. Thought Caroline might have to shut this place down. Look at me talking your ears off. What can I get you? At first, I assumed it was the usual house squabbles. Redoran and Hlalu arguments can get pretty heated. Then I thought maybe the Ashlanders were scaring people off. But after that proclamation... No, I'd rather not talk about that with a stranger. I'm sure you do, but I have to live here, you know? Look, there's nothing I can tell you. If the houses ever found out I told an outlander about our troubles, maybe one of the miners will be more willing to talk to you.
The fires...
How can I help you?
Yes? Is there something I can do for you, Outlander?
May I be of service?
Stupid dog. What happened? Let me see. I just tried to pet it. Damn dog bit me.
Leave it alone. There's something strange about that dog.
You shouldn't be here. Didn't you read the House Redarin proclamation? I wouldn't be here myself, but some of my miners are still in there. Our mine was invaded by violent cultists. They showed up and just took the place over. My people are trapped. I'm no expert, but it looked like the cultists were preparing to conduct a ritual before the Ashlander interrupted them. Well, I never actually saw an Ashlander, but I heard a cultist yell, "Ashlander thief! That's our mystical weapon!" That's not an exact quote, but you get the idea. I don't know what happened after that. I was kind of busy trying not to die. Probably because I heard one of them say, "With this ritual we'll call forth a mystical weapon and attain the power of a god." Or something along those lines. Look, I was just trying to get me and my miners out of there when the Ashlander showed up. It used to be an ore mine, and we hope it will be again. My crew was inside preparing to start up mining operations when the cultists attacked. The way things are going, we might just have to turn the place into another Kwama egg mine. Really? That's awfully brave of you. If you see any of my miners, tell them to get their arses out here. I'll wait as long as I can. Or until I hear screaming. Then I'll go to Balmora and try to find some help. Good luck in there.